Since the dawn of humanity, over 108 billion people have lived on the earth. Of that number, more than 100 billion have already died. The simple truth is this: everyone dies, and so will you. So what happens after you die? Is there an afterlife or a continuing consciousness? In a world full of conflicting opinions about this issue, whose opinion should you trust? Opinion survey professionals say the top 5 most trusted professions are doctors, nurses, scientists, teachers, and first responders. Join us as we examine how these trusted individuals dealt with the single most traumatic event that changed their lives forever: their own deaths. This is their story of life beyond death from the NDE Files. John Burke is the pastor of Gateway Church in Austin, Texas. He is also an avid researcher of over 1,000 near-death experiences and has written the New York Times and Amazon best-selling book, Imagine Heaven.
Well, I wrote Imagine Heaven actually after about 30 plus years of research. And I wrote it for 2 reasons. One, to convince skeptics like I was a skeptic when I first encountered the very first research about near-death experiences. I changed my mind. I became convinced. I believe that for skeptics, this is empirical, scientific, medical evidence that there really is an afterlife, there really is a God, and this is not just local, this is global evidence. One of the most disturbing parts of near-death experiences is that they're not all good.
Hellish near-death experiences are difficult to research because they're so rare. I've only found about 1, maybe 2% of near-death experiences truly describe a hellish realm, and they are extremely frightening. Hellish near-death experiences describe content and things occurring to the near-death experiencer that is far more frightening and far more vivid than any scary stories I've ever read in my life. They are truly horrific.
I consider myself an authority on hell. I know that hell is vast, and I knew that the only way that I could ultimately survive in that place was to become as bad a predator as they were to me. They were indoctrinating me into boot camp. I knew that the only way to survive down there was to join the gang and become a predator, which I really didn't want to do. And the thing that troubled me is that the sense of hopelessness and the sense of being in this place and becoming one of the inhabitants of this place with time without end was very unappealing. And so I'm just sinking into utter despair. And in that despair, my mind recalled myself as a child, maybe 8 or 9 years old, in a Sunday school classroom singing "Jesus Loves Me."